I'm Janice Hossteiger. After 3 decades in the marketing business and many years of being an entrepreneur, I've learned a thing or two about marketing. Join me as we talk about marketing, small business, and life in between. Welcome to My Weekly Marketing. Hey, and welcome back to My Weekly Marketing. Last week, I had to call a small shop here in Austin to see if they had a product in stock. And instead of a human answering the phone, I got an AI assistant. Don't you love when you call a company and a robot answers? No, not really. I'm kidding about that. You just really want to talk to a real person, right? So I pressed 0 and then I said clerk and representative and said it again like that's ever going to help. Eventually I got through, but I thought these people have no idea how much I hate this right now. Here's the thing. A lot of small businesses are racing to do things like automate their phone system because it seems like such an easy thing to hand over to AI. After all, answering the phone is such a basic function that a computer could easily handle it, right? But that first hello, what could have been a warm first impression, has really just been spoiled. Now, I know they didn't use AI because they wanted to be cold. They probably thought they're being smart and efficient and saving money. I mean, employees are expensive. But they're actually training their best customers that you're not important enough to even address in person. So AI is new for all of us, and nobody has completely figured out how to best use it in their business. So I want to take some time to go over what's currently available and the potential for you to use AI and what you should not let it do. Most of us are past the should I use AI question. It's so embedded in our daily routines for social media and emails and content. Even the search engines use it. Also, the occasional questions about how to unjam our laser printer, or in our case, what to do when your dog gets fleas, which is a whole nother story, makes AI kind of really irreplaceable in our lives. But there's another question underneath asking if you should use AI, and it's this. Am I handing the right stuff to AI? Here's why that's important. AI will say yes to anything. You ask it to write a web page, it writes a web page. Ask it to write an email, it writes an email. It can give you whatever you ask it to give you. But sometimes there are things you don't want it to give you, and Claude might not volunteer that information. So that's your job, knowing what to hand it and what to never let it touch. So today I'm putting together 2 lists, the hand it list and the never let it touch list. And I'm throwing in a few ideas that you maybe didn't think about, utilizing what AI is best at. Okay, a quick bit of context first. Here's what actually happens with AI. AI has learned from massive amounts of content, the good, the bad, and everything in between. There's a lot of bad information on the internet if you didn't already know that. If you listened to my episode number 167 with RJ Talyor, we talked a lot about this. When we ask AI to create something, it draws on patterns, the average blog post, the average social media caption, the average email that starts with something random like, I hope this email finds you well. But there's a problem with that, and that's that AI is making average content easier and faster to produce. That means the benchmark for average is getting higher. So there's going to be a lot more decent content out there, which means average content is becoming less valuable. Does that make sense? So if you want your marketing to get noticed, your content has to rise above average. So the good news is that AI can help you do that too. Now, average might be fine for some things. There are some things that I genuinely don't do well where AI is stepping it up and doing average, and they're ahead of where I used to be. But if you're already using AI, you're heading in the right direction. You know it's a tool, not a wise, all-knowing demigod. But I also want you to know that it's no longer a skill to use AI. Everybody can use it. The skill is now knowing what to give it and what to guard. So the people that win the next couple of years aren't the ones who use AI the most. They're the ones that know exactly which parts of their business to hand over and which parts to keep their human hands on. All right, so let's peel those 2 piles. Pile number 1, what to hand to AI. Let's start with good news because this pile is bigger than you think, and using it well will give you hours back. And who wouldn't like more time in their day, right? So there are some things that AI will beat humans at every day of the week. These are the things to hand over to AI. Let me give you a few examples here because I think a lot of us are only using AI for 2 or 3 things when it's really skilled at a lot of things. So there are 4 basic categories AI is genuinely good at. 1, finding patterns in a bunch of information. If you paste 50 survey responses or a month of DMs or all the reviews you've ever gotten and you ask what patterns and phrases keep coming up, within seconds, AI will find the themes faster than your customers could even tell you what they are. This is valuable with language because everyone phrases things in different ways. For example, one customer might say, I just feel like I'm throwing money at marketing and I have no idea if it's working. And another customer would say, I'm doing all the things everyone tells me to do and my calendar's still empty. So there's 2 customers, they use completely different words and use different emotional tones. One's about wasted spend and one's about wasted effort. But underneath, they keep saying the same thing. I can't see what's working, so I don't know what to keep doing. This is the sort of thing that AI will help you sort through. It gets you through the narrative to get you to the meat of what people are actually saying. Okay, so that's one bucket of things that AI can do really well. Number 2 is anything with numbers or data. So if you've got a messy spreadsheet of email stats, podcast downloads, sales by month, or even analytics from Google, hand it over. One thing that was really helpful for me personally was giving Claude years of email stats and asking it to identify the patterns of my best performing subject lines. From that, it was able to create a formula that I can use going forward. You can also give it sales data and ask it to identify months that do well or days of the week or patterns in it. It'll crunch it and hand you the answer in plain English without, getting you involved in formulas or pivot tables. I think we all have more data than we know what to do with, and AI will help you make sense of that data so that you can understand it to make decisions from it, because that's really the key, right? The numbers tell a story. It's no fun just looking at numbers on a sheet. That's one of my favorite AI skills, and it does it better and faster than any human could. Okay, number 3, first drafts of really just about anything. I don't know about you, but I hate looking at a blank page. Whether it's a blog post I'm writing, an email, an outline, a script, AI can get you an ugly first draft in seconds. And even a fixable ugly first draft beats a blank screen that you're just staring at. Honestly, what it does even better than that, I think, is gives you an outline first. That way you don't have to look past all the AI-isms that I call it, all those words or patterns that AI throws in. If you use AI a lot, you know what I'm talking about. Okay, so group number 4 that AI does better than anything else is turning one thing into many. This has been a huge time saver for me. You can record one podcast episode like I'm doing now, and I'll hand the transcript over to AI, put it into show notes, social media posts, an email, LinkedIn post, or even a blog post. It can use one piece of content to make multiple iterations, and all you've done is actually created one. And I've had clients ask me about this. Is it okay not to make a week's information all different? Like if you're doing social media, is it okay to have them all be on the same topic as, say, your blog posts or a podcast episode? Honestly, it's actually the best thing to do. People may not respond the first time they see your post, but if they see the same topic across multiple platforms, they're more likely to act on it. It's the rule of 7. They used to say in advertising that a person had to see something 7 times before making a decision. Now that number has gone up to who knows what, but the concept is still the same. Multiple touches for the win. Now notice what all 4 of these buckets have in common. They're all tasks: processing, producing, doing. AI is fast and tireless. Hand the doing over to AI. I also want to address prompts here. The more specific you make your prompts, the better the outcome. All AI tools have a settings section where you can give it information about your ideal customer, your business, your brand voice. You can hand it writing samples, audio samples, video samples, and any other detail you'd like it to know about you. So then you don't have to put all that information in every time you use it. This is the difference between AI making you sound like everybody else and AI helping you sound more like you. I also request both from Claude and ChatGPT that it challenge me with deeper questions. That way I can make sure that I'm doing a good job rather than just confirming what AI is saying. But even beyond that, details are important in your prompts. Vague prompts in, and you get generic AI slop out. I wouldn't recommend asking AI to be creative. If you give AI your raw materials and ask it to assemble the content, that's the way to go. AI is a phenomenal assistant and a terrible visionary. So don't ask it to give you the vision, give it your vision and let it do the assembling. This has made a huge difference in the results that I've had. The quality of what comes out is entirely a function of what you put in. So the question isn't, will AI do great work here? AI has no greatness to give. The question is, did I hand it enough information about me and my situation to lift it above average? The best analogy I've heard about AI is that you've got a brand new assistant, super eager, but with zero background in your business. If you say, write me a caption about essential oils and walk away, they have no idea about who your people are or how you sound. So they hand you something technically correct, but completely generic because you told them nothing. AI is that assistant or that intern. It's only as good as the information and input that you give it. Okay, the second section we have here is what never to let AI touch. There's a whole category of your business that you should be very cautious about. And the mistake isn't using AI, it's letting it have the final say. So never let AI make the judgment call. It can give you 10 options. It can't tell you which one is the right for your ICA in your situation or at this time. It doesn't know your client just had a rough launch. It doesn't know your audience is burnt out on certain concepts or topics. It doesn't know what you know in your gut. It's confident, but it's confident about the average, and your business isn't average and you don't want it to be. So how I do it is I let it generate content and then I decide what to use. You decide. It brings you options. You bring the judgment. Never flip that. The second you let it choose for you, you've just handed over the one thing that was actually yours, and that reflects on you and your brand. Second, never let it imagine the real conversation you have with your customer. It's easy to let it help you develop a profile about your ideal customer, but this is the one thing I feel strongest about. Your actual conversations with actual customers should be guarded with your life because those conversations are the raw material for everything else. They are foundational. So when a customer tells you in her words exactly why she almost didn't buy, that's golden. That's the phrase that becomes your next headline. AI can use that information, but AI can't get that for you. It's trained on the internet's average, remember? So it literally cannot know what your customer said on a call with you, and that's the content that will resonate with your audience. Only you have access to that. So the more you automate away from human voices, the bot answering the DMs, the AI writing the personal notes, AI answering the phones, the more you cut yourself off from the exact thing that makes your marketing sound human. By using AI, you're not saving time, you're starving your best ideas. And like the AI phone bank example I gave at the intro, letting AI interact with your customers makes you lose on an authentic relationship. That's what customers will remember, and that's where you get the information to make your service or product stronger and your writing more authentic. And third, never let it be the final, does this sound like me? You can hand AI a draft and you can give it samples of your writing and you can give it information that you know about your ICA or your ideal customer avatar. You can tell it how you speak, but only you can sound like you. So don't let it be the final draft, as tempting it is to let it polish things up for you. AI can get you to about 80%, but that last 20% is the whole reason someone chooses you over a competitor who uses AI. So that's a clean version. Hand over the doing, never hand over the deciding, the relating, or the final taste check. Now, I want to tell you about things that you may not have thought about that can do way beyond these tips. So here are a few ideas. Number one, have it argue against you. Copy your sales page and paste it in AI and say, be a skeptical version of my ideal client and tell me every reason why you wouldn't buy this. It'll pull in the objections that you're too close to see. AI, I can tell you, is very good at punching holes in things that I've completed. It's something that is sometimes hard to hear, but it's important to know. So it's very good at picking up patterns and missed information. Number two, reverse engineer your own work. Feed it your 3 best performing emails or posts and ask, what do these have in common? The structure, the tone, the hooks. That's what I did with my email data. It'll name the formulas that work best for you so you can repeat it going forward. Number 3, the explain it to an 8-year-old clarity test. When I'm stuck on messaging that feels muddy, I have AI rewrite the offer at a 3rd or 5th grade reading level. Not to publish, just to diagnose any logical issues or just kind of clean it up a little bit. If AI can't simplify it, the idea itself isn't clear yet, and it's a really good clarity check. Number 4, naming. You may have used AI for naming ideas. I know I have. Frameworks, offers, freebies, email series, and so on. But ask it why each one works. The naming is fine. The reasoning teaches us what makes that name effective and sticky. So it's a really good way to just kind of punch holes in a name and make it understand if it may or may not work. Number 5, role play a sales conversation. Tell it, be a hesitant prospect on a discovery call. Push back on my pricing. And then you can practice handling objections out loud before you're even on a real call with 0 stakes. I love this idea because there's nothing like being on a call and stumbling over your words when it comes time to say your price with confidence. And this is a good way to practice it. Number 6, find the gap in your content. Paste your last 20 episode titles or your post topics and ask, what is my ideal client struggling with that I have not addressed recently? And it'll spot the missing information that your ideal customer needs to hear. There are a lot more things, of course. I've had it create a complex new customer assessment for me, complete with HTML setup, and it did it faster than any app out there that I tried. Believe me, I tried a few. AI has also helped me create a number of calculators that I have on my site for marketing budgets, customer acquisition cost, lifetime customer value, Google ad spend, email list building calculator. These are all things that I hated doing on spreadsheets, but I just put that information into AI. It was able to create an online calculator, and they live on my website. And I'll put the links to those in the show notes too, by the way. They're really good to have handy for marketing. Claude Cowork can also create graphics, organize things on your computer, like in your files, if you give it permission. It can complete simple tasks. And that's really just the tip of the iceberg. So I highly recommend getting comfortable with expanding what you have it do for you. It has so much more to offer than just a chat tool in your browser. As business owners, I strongly believe that we all need to learn to harness AI, even if you don't love it, because our competitors will, and like it or not, it's the future. It will 100% make your job easier. So hand off the busy work, the doing, guard the good stuff, and go do the part that only you can do. Thanks so much for joining me today. For more information, visit myweeklymarketing.com/170. I'll see you next time. Bye for now.